The Story of the Little S-Curve, and other fairy tales from the Project Management Office. Once upon a time a king wanted more birds flying above his kingdom. The king called the minister, "Build me a tower for birds. Be ready in March. If not, I will feed you to the crocodiles." The minister called his servant, "Draw me up a project schedule to build the birds' tower for the king. The tower must be ready in 10 months. The servant went to his room, and started calculations. "In the first month I build the foundation and 3 floors. From the second month to the 9th month, 11 floors per month. 9 floors in the last month, to have some safety margin to finish on time." The king was amused when he saw the plan, and gave order to start building the birds' tower. The first month was easy, 3 floors have been built and everybody was satisfied. In the second month the progress was behind plan. But nothing to worry about as we still have time to build. The third month was not much different from the second, and the minister started to get worried and told the servant to work more. The progress made in the fourth month was now much better, but still below plan. In the fifth month 11 floors have been built, and everybody working at full speed. The servant and the minister are now optimistic that they will recover until the last month. In the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th month the servant did not manage to catch up and to close the gap. Now was coming the last month and having some safety margin. Everybody was called to do his best, to work hard to finish. The king got angry when he was told that the tower will not be finished, and the king threw the minister and his servant to the crocodiles. What went wrong? The servant was ignorant of the little S-curve. What is this little S-curve? Something simple and not obvious. If the servant would have known the little S-curve, how would he have planned to build the king's birds tower? Let's check it out. First month, second month, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th month. 10th month. Now this is the little S-curve. I let now talk the little S-curve to you.
Hi, I am the little S-curve. I need 20% of the time to reach 5% progress. In the Birds Tower project with 100 floors and 10-month project time, this gives after 2 months 5 floors. I need 50% of the time to reach 30% progress. In the Birds Tower project, this gives after 5 months only 30 floors. This is where customers and managers have difficulty to accept such low figures. At 80% of the time I get 80% progress. After 8 months it will be the first time that progress and time spent are equal percentage-wise. And please keep in mind that I have a peak load between month 6 and 8.
Now let's look what happened to our servant in the first 4 months. Is the achieved progress of the servant really so bad? We can see that the achieved line, in red, is far below the planned line, in blue, but it follows quite closely the little S-curve, pink-colored line. So it seems that our servant did a good job in the first 4 months as it is the progress which the little S-curve is predicting. Why our servant did nevertheless a bad job also in the first 4 months. He wasted his resources, he had more people planned than he really needed. He had planned people to construct 11 floors, but he only constructed 3 floors. This waste of resources results in higher project costs. Now let's have a look on the period starting from the 5th month until the 10th month. We can see that the achieved line, in red, is far below the planned line, in blue, and falls also below the little S-curve, pink. The gap between the little S-curve and the achieved line gets each month bigger and bigger. The gap to the planned blue line remains constant, which indicates that there is no chance to catch up. The project will not finish on time. This is the moment when the managers are starting screaming but rarely understand why. Everyone is working at his maximum, the progress cannot be recovered. One recovery plan is following another with little positive effect on the progress. If we look closer, you can see that the little S-curve has a peak load between month 6 and 8. In this month you would need 60% more resources than average. Missing resources during the peak load makes any recovery impossible. The project delay is programmed. Even if you throw now in new resources, it is too late. The peak hits you fast, and until you realize it and new resources are trained and working, the peak is over. New resources will make the situation even worse, because you need to pay them without benefit, but increasing project costs. In the moment the peak load is over, you do not need them anymore. Knowing the little S-curve will help you to finish the project on time and to save project costs. Some hints. You can use the minimum Gumbel distribution to generate the little S-curve for your project, if you use identical values for the Gumbel parameters mu and beta. This will give you a good resource load estimate of your project, and you can adjust the parameters until your peak load is acceptable. If your servant is showing you his planned progress curve, check the progress at 10%, 30%, 80% and compare it to the prediction of the little S-curve. If they are not similar, you may have an unrealistic project schedule on your table. Even if the S-curve is close to the little S-curve, you are not safe yet. Check if you can cover the peak load, which will appear in the second half of the project and can reach 200% of your average load. If the peak load is too high, you will need to extend the project duration to lower the peak. Here ends the story of the little S-curve, for today.